That's right. Hello everybody and welcome back. In today's session, I'd like to share with you 5 unique patterns for diminished arpeggios. These patterns are designed to help you play faster, and they will hopefully open up the fretboard for you so you can really dive deep into this unique sound. Now, the amazing thing about diminished arpeggios and their chords is their symmetry. They repeat at every minor third interval. This means that once you've memorized a diminished arpeggio pattern, you can repeat that exact same sequence up and down the whole fretboard simply by moving in minor thirds. For example, if I take pattern number 1 and demonstrate it for you quickly. Now I'm going to start that pattern again, but instead of starting here, I'm going to move up a minor third. And now I'll play exactly the same thing with the same fingerings, and it'll work. Now I'll come up another minor third, and another, etc., etc. So hopefully through that you can see that these are really powerful tools for being able to play fast, because you just have to memorize one movement and then be able to identify spaces of minor thirds, and you can just apply that anywhere along the fretboard. It's used really a lot in gypsy jazz, I guess, for that reason. So, without further ado, let us begin with pattern number 1. And this is what it sounds like. So let's break that down. E string 6th fret, 4th and 7th A string, 5th and 8th D string, 6th G string, 5th and 8th B string, and finally 6th on the high E string. Now for each of these patterns, it's really important that you memorize the movement going up and down. So going backwards, and notice I have a position change. I start with my 3rd finger on the 6th fret, and then I play the first 3 notes. And now my 1st finger doesn't stay on the bar of the 4th fret, it comes up to the 5th fret, and then I play the next sequence, and it stays in that position. And when you go backwards, the shift happens on the 4th fret of the A string here. There I've shifted position, and then I come back to the root note. So memorize that, start slowly and build up speed. And once you have it memorized, the next step is to play the same sequence but up a minor third. So we'll play through it. Now come up a minor third, that's 3 semitones. 1, 2, 3. And now play the same shape backwards, but from here. Now come up another minor third, so that's 3 semitones. 1, 2, 3. Now come up another minor third. So I'm not very warm, but with a little bit of practice, you can start to have so cool, right? Let's move on to pattern number 2. Again, we're going to start from the B flat note, which is on the 6th fret of the low E string, and the new pattern looks like this. Same sound, but it looks totally different, right? So let's break it down. I'm doing mostly 2 notes per string. So we start on the low E string and we play 6, 6 and 9. On the A string, we play the 7th and 10th fret. On the D string, we play the 8th and 11th fret. On the G string, we play the 9th and 12th fret. On the B string, it's just the 11th fret. Then we come to the 9th and 12th fret of the higher E. So slowly. And backwards. Great exercise for coordination. And again, once you've memorized it, move up and down the fretboard in minor thirds. Let's try here. Oh man, that's so cool. Okay, pattern number 3. Now we're gonna change technique. I learned this from learning the solo of Dark Eyes from Django, and it's a really crazy technique that needs quite a lot of practice, but it's so fun. I'm actually still working on it a lot myself, but here it is. Pattern number 3. That lick is really hard. It's worth it, practice it, but damn, I am not warm enough to be demonstrating that properly. So let's break it down. So the technique uses these 3 minor thirds played at the same time, making a diminished triad. Left hand is 6th fret, 5th fret, 6th fret, and it moves in minor thirds up and down the neck. So you need to be familiar with how much distance a minor third is. And again, that's 3 semitones. So practice that first if you're not used to it, because it's very important for the technique later. So the right hand starts with an upstroke on the high E, and then it comes to the G string and then plays down through the 3 strings. So it's up on high E string, down on G, down on B, down on E, and then up again on the E string. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. Now the really tricky element is with the downstroke to be relaxed, and that's something that I myself am working on quite a lot. It's not a pushed downstroke. Let gravity do the work for you. It's really challenging, but practice it. It's such a cool technique. The next really hard part about this for me is between the last downstroke and the first upstroke beginning the new sequence of the lick, you need to shift a minor third. And you need to shift in a relaxed but efficient way. And this is why I mentioned practicing moving up and down in minor thirds. So you don't have to think about that too much. So if we do this slowly, I'll just move up and down the first minor third interval here. So that's here on the 6th fret of the G, coming to the 9th fret of the G with my 2nd finger. Those are my 2 positions. So it's like this. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 1 E and a. So that's number 3. It might be a challenge, but persist with it. Let's move on to number 4. This lick is actually one I learned from transcribing a lick from the great Paulus Schaefer, an absolutely phenomenal player from Holland. And it utilizes kind of a sweep in a way, playing diminished arpeggios using these middle strings here, the D string, G string, and B string. And I'll demonstrate it for you now. Very cool lick, huh? So let's break that down. I'm starting on the 5th fret of the D string, and I move to the 8th fret. And then on the G string, I play the 6th fret. And then I come down to the B string and play the 5th and 8th fret. And that's the whole sequence. So really get familiar and comfortable with this down, up, down, down, up. It's very fun once you get the hang of it. And again, once you've got the physicality down and you memorize the shape, practice trying to move up and down in minor thirds and identify that interval distance quicker and quicker. So if I'm on the 5th fret, I can slide up to the 8th fret and do it there. I can slide up to the 11th fret and do it there. And I can slide up to the 14th, etc. And another cool little indicator with this particular lick, because it moves so horizontally along the neck, the 2nd note of the passage can be the 1st note of the new position. So if you're new to finding minor thirds, that's a little hack for you there. Let's move on to pattern number 5. This one plays with sequencing in a very direct way, and it's sort of a descending diminished arpeggio. This is what it sounds like. So nice, right? So the whole essence of this sequence is playing 4 notes descending of the diminished arpeggio, and then the 5th note is 1 note lower than where you began that sequence of 4. So to demonstrate that, I play 4 notes of the arpeggio, and now because I started here, the note lower, the next minor third lower, is here on the 12th fret. So that marks the next note where I have to play 4 notes descending again of the arpeggio. So all in all, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, back 1. 2, 3, 4, back 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, back 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, back 1, back 1, etc., etc. Now, instead of making this video an extra 10 minutes long explaining each fret to you over the whole sequence, I'm just going to have it in the tab, which is going to be available on my website and on my Patreon, and you can find a link to both of those in the description. And that's where this lesson is going to end here on YouTube. It's going to continue over on my Patreon, where we're going to discuss application of these 5 different patterns musically. Where can you put diminished arpeggios into your playing? How does it work in the context of a song? Which chords do diminished arpeggios work over? These are the sorts of things we're going to talk about over there. And again, a link to that's going to be in the description. Let me know in the comments which of these 5 is your favorite. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys at the next lesson. Happy practice.